Hey folks, Tankerman here. How y'all doing? I'm out here in Camp Claibourne. Out here exploring this old military base. Camp lives in, I think they had like 400 and some odd thousand troops trained out there. Camp Claibourne had like 500 and some odd thousand troops trained out here. A lot of mouths to feed. What y'all think? Here's this little road. What y'all say we go down here and see what's what? Well, this is a new road on me, so I'm with y'all on this one. Some of these areas I've been in, and others I haven't been in probably 10, 15 years, and other areas I've never seen. But this is what I like about dual sport. Let's see what we got. I ain't seen no sign saying road closed, but bad thing about U.S. forestry, that don't always mean nothing. Sometimes they'll, that's not a road you was on. So I gotta write you a ticket. Really? You gotta write me a ticket? Don't you love it when they say stuff like that there? I got to write you a ticket. Anybody holding a gun to their head and telling them they gotta write you a ticket? Nah. They writing a ticket because they want to write you a ticket. They can't just give you a verbal warning. I'm gonna go down this way here. That way there should cross the road. Not too far, so I'm gonna go this way and see what we got on this high line. I like riding high lines. Generally on high lines you ain't gotta worry about too much hidden dangers other than ruts and washouts and stuff like that there. What we got here? Oh, okay. That's almost like asphalt going down that hill. Let's see what we can spin and twist and... Oh, really? And there's asphalt there. That took the fun out of that little trip. Well, we'll go on down and see what we can find on down. How about that one? I got all day. If y'all watched my previous video, I've been dieting, trying to lose weight and everything else. I can't say that's a road, that's all growed up, so most likely I can't argue that one with the cop. It's what I call Blubber for Gainy Challenge. Help a friend that I went, well, schoolmate I went to school with out that's going to have a heart transplant. Here's another building. Now this one here is fenced off. See if I can get a better view over here. Nope. But this here, they got, you know, boarded up and everything, but they fenced it off. Undoubtedly the concrete was starting to decay and everything. A lot of times that's why they fenced them off. People use their head for more than a hat rack. They wouldn't have to fence these things off and everything, but let's see what we got here. Well, now, that was an interesting little turn. What y'all think? Y'all could have went all day without seeing that one, couldn't you? This is what I like about dual sporting. I come out here and, you know, like Colorado dual sporting. I think me and him kind of like a lot of ways when it comes to exploring, and I think he would be like a kid in a candy store out here on these old military bases, going around with me and checking out these old sites. What's bad is there's so many people riding motorcycles, four-wheelers out here that they see something like there as a place to just spray paint or have a good time drinking beer and partying, and they don't stop and look at the historical features of it, and they don't stop and take time to be amazed that these suckers here is over 70 years old and they still standing. Well, someone want a swimming pool? I'll sell it to you cheap. I just watched a video Everride put out about a man breaking his leg out riding with him on a real small fall. I mean, yeah, it probably was a lot worse than what it looked on video to do that much damage, but let's see, which way y'all want to go? Silva always says go left, so we're gonna go left for a little bit. It got me thinking, you know, I might ought to check out, get me a one of them personal locator beacons, doohickeys. I don't know. I know in the deserts and Utah and places where some of them rise, there's not an issue with trees and everything, but I wonder just how big of issues I will have out here. You know, these concrete roads ain't too bad, but you get on trails, it gets pretty dense at times. So I wonder just how well they would work. If any of y'all have any ideas or suggestions which one's best. I know them things kind of expensive, but you know, I'm guilty big time of leaving my house planning on doing me a little short ride. I guess you could say I'm like Gilligan Island, and an hour or two trail ride out through Camp Livingston, and next thing I know, I'm up around Gina, Tullis, Winfield. I mean, I just keep going and going until finally I'm like, you know, I better start heading home. Of course, my wife, she gives me a what for when she finds out where I've been. Well, if something happened to you, I would have never found you. You said you're going to Camp Livingston. Y'all know that feeling. Here's some stairs here. I might My goodness, they made these stairs here with just like a 4-inch rise. I mean, that must be for short-legged folks. Well now, wonder what this was. A flagpole, some type of memorial. Don't know if there was a flagpole in the middle of there or what this was. That's kind of what I'm thinking it was. A place where they raised and lowered maybe the camp's flag. I bet you anything that's what this is. This was a actual camp flag that they raised and lowered every morning. Well, raised in the morning, lowered in the afternoon. Y'all knew what I was talking about. Well, like I said, they surely didn't put very good rise on there. Pretty neat. See, so it tells me go left, and I found something pretty neat. I spotted that a while ago when I passed it. Seen that road down there. I thought maybe it'd double back on the other side of it, but it looks like it just like I said, was maybe where they had a camp flag. It's amazing to actually think my wife's grandfather was out here one time as a young man marching and everything, and in fact he met his wife out here. She worked in the commissary, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty neat, huh? Oh, that's that road. I should have just turned right there. Well, hey, I wouldn't have went down that high line. So, I'll do good. I will say, I'm kind of like a ride map is, of course. I don't have no map. I just go with the flow. Today's ride is one of them there. I just go where the wind blows. When I left the house, I didn't know where I was going to head, and I said, you know, let me go out there. I said, and do a little tribute to the 82nd 101st Airborne, and do me some videos of Camp Claibourne. I got a lot of exploring out here to do, and like I said, this was a lot bigger than Camp Lewison. Y'all have to forgive me on moving my head back and forth. I'm being a tourist. Like I said, it's been quite a few years since I've actually ridden these roads out here. There's a few more areas that I'm trying to remember how to get to them. They might have tore them down or got them fenced off now, so I might not even be able to get to them old buildings. Anything down there? Ooh, that looks like a dark little hole. We might have to go check that. I like dark. But this opens up down here. I want to check to see what this here opens up about. They had a railroad that come through here also. like they did in Camp Lewison and also somebody been shooting. I would love to win. I thought about going up there. This here's that single track crossing, I think, where it goes. I might hit trail a little bit later on when my battery dies. Not that I don't want to bring y'all with me, but y'all don't need to hear me panting like a dog. Well, yeah, I was talking about that little blubber for Janie challenge deal that I did on Facebook, that several of my friends had joined in with me, and some of them's dropped out, but we've raised a little money for us, help him out with his expenses with his heart transplant. But I think I'm probably gonna be, so far being on 2 months, I think I'm probably around 25, 28 pounds I've lost so far, which I am highly tickled with that. See what, little opening might not be nothing. Nope, nothing. A lady friend of mine, I think she's lost 11 pounds. My little wife, she's lost like 15. Of course, they're giving me a lip about me losing more weight than them, I told them, because men work harder than women. So y'all can imagine why I'm catching.